Hi there, my name's Daryl and welcome again to the check-in, where today I'm joined by Sean, Craig and Dan, and we're going to be talking about the impact of driverless cars, a vehicular hot potato. Right, well, the first thing on everyone's mind, of course, is safety when it comes to driverless cars. So what does everyone feel about whether they're safe or not? Dan?
So looking into this, I think obviously that's a big concern. You know, people think of, oh God, if there's no one there controlling the wheel, be able to react to situations changing ahead of you, how is it going to work in the hands of technology completely out of your control? But the thing is, there was a study done by Stanford University a little while ago that proved about 93% of incidents on the road were caused by people, really, mistakes that people had made with judgment or lack of concentration, and actually only a very, very small amount of technical fault. And as we know, things are getting better technically, technology is improving, they will become less and less. Google have been doing this for a while, trialing out their driverless cars. They've apparently done 1.8 million miles already on the road and only incurred 13 minor incidents, things like someone just going into the back of the traffic lights and things like that. And all of those 13 have been down to the other car with the driver in it. So far, no actual accidents from those. So it seems that if we were going to go into sort of the safety debate, it might be a case that whilst driverless cars on their own are okay, I think it all needs to move to driverless. So if you have any drivers mixed in with that technology, it sort of adds the sort of issue of safety back into the mix. So I think it needs to be almost an all or nothing sort of divide. But yeah, otherwise, I think it seems at this point to be safe. I mean, I don't think it's been mass trialed enough to know exactly what it's going to be like. It should be a case of have to dive in and see what the results of it are.
So, Craig, would you get in a driverless car? What's your gut feeling now?
Yeah, I agree with Dan. When you're adding an actual driver into the mix, I think there is going to be problems. The whole system for me is going to be based off complete autonomy with every single car operating out of a driverless system. And yeah, to Dan's point, is it safe? And would I get in one? Absolutely, right now, no problem.
I thought I was just going to end absolutely no, but absolutely no problem. It's pretty good. Sean, how about you?
Yeah, I'll get in a driverless car. I think even if there is human drivers on the roads, the driverless cars are still safer than a human driver. The only thing I think with that is it takes a lot of jobs away from taxi drivers and other sort of cons like that. You're taking away like human experience. Also, with Google Maps and other sort of systems that are made to get you around faster, they don't always get you around faster. A human knows probably better than a machine does on like back routes and things like that. So I'm not sure.
They're not going to have the traditional knowledge
exactly,
of your hackney cab driver.
Exactly.
But then you're into AI and machine learning, so eventually that system will pick up and it will start knowing that I need to turn left here instead of carry on straight. So with any implementation of any system, there is going to be a period of bedding in where things need to happen and things need to learn and understand what's going on. So I don't think longer term that's going to be the issue.
Yeah. I think there are a lot of benefits to look at it. I guess you should be able to get a vehicle whenever, wherever. It doesn't depend on people working. I know it would bring jobs to people and therefore take jobs away, but having the ability to just have a car rock up wherever you're at any time of the day, it would save on surge pricing. It'd save on having to like park vehicles, or even a case of owning it. You think about people that own cars. That's why 95% of the time it's sitting still. If you get to the point where actually the cars just sort of come, pick you up, drop you off, and then whiz off to the next job of wherever they've been summoned to, and they become more of like a public service than a private vehicle own, that could be a case actually it's more efficient, more effective for the environment. You got less vehicles on the road overall. I mean, you could avoid stuff like insurance wouldn't be necessary, driving licenses wouldn't be necessary. It may be a case that actually doing this would mean that traffic during the days thins out a little bit and traffic during the night then picks up, because people might go to sleep and go, I want to go to Glasgow tomorrow, but rather than having to drive whilst I'm awake and with it, I can just go to sleep, put the duvet on the back of the car and wake up in Scotland or something. So I guess there are more options available when it comes to that. It's flexibility if you can let a machine just get on with it.
A lot of trust seemingly involved there, but there are a lot of benefits that Dan's discussed about there, but obviously on the flip side of that is going to be a lot of negatives. Yeah. Anyone got any specific problems that they're terrified about? I think the obvious one is again safety related, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. So if I want to go to Glasgow, I'm not whilst I am all for getting in a driverless car, I'm not so sure I would personally would be comfortable sleeping in one right now. Yeah, it's simple as that, really.
Well, no, fair enough. Sean?
I think there's other cons about having driverless cars. I mean, if you talk about integration into society and then probably just one brand will rule all cars and they'll have like a monopoly over everything else, you'll lose traditional brands that mean a lot to a lot of different countries and a lot of business within countries. I think it's unrealistic that you'll get a whole integration wherever you are anyway, but I think cars can be very special to some people. I think losing that special sort of thing that it gives, it's not a great positive.
Yeah, but even the traditional the traditional car manufacturing firms themselves are starting to look at ways to reduce their carbon outprint and move away from fossil fuel technology. Volvo themselves have said they're looking to move away, I believe, within the next 15 years or so, and no longer sell combustion engine vehicles, alongside governments around the world as well looking to physically ban the sale of combustion engine vehicles. So those brands are going to have to move forward with those times regardless. So there's no reason why those brands can't get involved and diversify and expand their portfolio anyway.
I guess there's a sort of a loss of romance, though, having to lose the driving experience. I think there are a lot of old school petrol heads that love to get behind like their old cars and things that mean a lot to a lot of people and a lot of heritage in it. So I think losing that would be a shame. I mean, it's going to be a shame to only be able to drive your car on a private racetrack if you want that experience again. But it's one of those things you got to balance it up. I mean, it's sort of the pros and cons for society as a whole and what it means. And if it means you can actually save the planet, reduce deaths, reduce carbon output, and all that kind of things, then it's something that's got to be considered. I think as a positive overall. You're going to lose some stuff, but doesn't matter how clever the technology goes, you're still going to need people to monitor it. Jobs are just going to move from one area to another. Rather than operating the machinery, they'll move to managing the systems that control it, drive it, build it. So I would hate to think it would have a negative impact on jobs.
I think that the managing of systems is sort of a negative anyway, because whereas you just have a single car driven by a single person, if you have a whole machine that's controlling 1 million cars, if it fails and 1 million cars fails, it's not just one car anymore. So I think that can really destroy a lot of things at the same time.
Absolutely. Well, pros and cons, I think, and we've sort of not in agreement here. You're probably not in agreement or disagreement at home. Let us know what you think by leaving some comments down below, and we'll see you again next time here on The Check-In.